wasting time. Jim Rohn's Secrets to Living Effectively. Have you ever asked yourself, I work so hard all day, but in the end, I achieve nothing? If the answer is yes, then this video is for you. Jim Rohn, a master of personal development, will reveal the secrets to help you escape the cycle of meaningless busyness and live truly effectively. Discover how to apply the 80-20 principle. Focus on the 20% of tasks that generate 80% of the results. Plan intelligently, eliminate urgent but unimportant tasks, and prioritize long-term goals. Manage energy. Maintain physical and mental health as the foundation for sustainable productivity. Jim Rohn emphasizes, success doesn't come from doing a lot, but from doing the right, important things. Don't let time slip away uselessly. Take action now to turn every moment into a step closer to your goals. Like, share, and subscribe to the Decoding Jim Rohn channel so you don't miss life-changing lessons. A new day, a new opportunity for you to stop wasting and start shining. Today, we will explore a very interesting and important topic that many of us have surely faced. Being busy doesn't mean being effective. Have you ever felt like you work all day, but ultimately don't achieve any results? Are you spending too much time on unimportant tasks? Do those tasks truly bring productivity and value to your life? Or are you wasting time on things that aren't worth your attention? Jim Rohn, one of the most famous teachers of personal development, said that activity doesn't always lead to accomplishment. Are you using your time wisely, or are you just chasing after things that don't really have value? Time is a precious asset that we cannot buy more of. Therefore, effective planning and focusing on goals are extremely necessary. If you often feel busy without seeing results, then it's time to switch from being busy to being effective. Ask yourself the important question: are you doing the right, important things? The things that truly help you get closer to your goals. Focus on valuable tasks. Jim Rohn said so. And to do that, you need to know how to prioritize important work and not let insignificant things occupy your precious time. If you find this message helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to always receive valuable lessons from the Decoding Jim Rohn channel. Let's learn, change, and improve our productivity together so that we are not just busy, but also effective in our work and life. Surely many times you have felt like you worked all day long, with a pile of tasks stacked up, but in the end, you didn't see any significant results. Have you ever wondered if you are really working smart, or simply chasing after unimportant tasks that don't bring long-term value? Jim Rohn once said that activity doesn't always lead to accomplishment. This is an important lesson that we need to remember in our lives and work. Being busy is not the same as being effective. Many of us get caught up in the whirlwind of daily tasks and feel proud of our busyness. They always have a packed schedule, always busy with meetings, emails, and endless tasks. But do these tasks really bring productivity, or are they just a way to hide the lack of effectiveness in their work? Busyness is not a badge of honor. Jim Rohn emphasized this. Indeed, busyness is not always a sign of success. If you just work without a clear plan, without prioritizing important tasks, you will only become more tired without achieving any results. To achieve true work efficiency, it's important to know how to plan effectively, focus on high-value tasks, and eliminate tasks that don't yield clear results. Instead of chasing unnecessary tasks, you need to know how to manage your time intelligently. Spend time on important tasks, the ones that help you get closer to your long-term goals. And as Jim Rohn said, don't work hard to be busy. Work hard to achieve valuable results. One of the important principles we can apply is the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle shows that 80% of the results come from only 20% of the work you do. So do you know which are the important tasks? The ones that will increase your productivity and help you achieve success? Those are the tasks you need to prioritize. Don't get caught up in unimportant tasks that only give you a feeling of being busy, but don't bring real value. To be able to do this, you need to clearly understand your goals and focus on them. Always ask yourself, which task today will bring me the greatest results? The answer is the tasks you need to dedicate your time and energy to. When you know how to say no to unimportant tasks, you will have more time to focus on what truly matters. Good time management will help you increase productivity and achieve the results you desire. So, don't let busyness deceive you. Work efficiency doesn't come from doing a lot, but from doing the right important things. Don't waste time on things that aren't worthwhile. Don't get caught up in tasks without a clear purpose. Spend time planning effectively, prioritizing important work, and using your time intelligently to achieve great goals in life. As Jim Rohn said, success doesn't come from waiting for opportunities, but from creating them and acting immediately. Time is a precious asset that each of us possesses, but sadly, most of us don't know how to cherish and use it wisely. Jim Rohn once said, "Time is the most valuable asset you have. You can't buy more of it. You can't save it. You can only use it. Indeed, every moment that passes never returns." When you spend time on unimportant things, you are wasting time, an asset that cannot be recovered. If you want to succeed in your work and life, you need to understand that time is not infinite. Every day that passes is a day you can't get back, and when you don't know how to manage your time effectively, you will find yourself always busy without achieving any results. Jim Rohn emphasized that time will pass, whether you do anything or not. So why not choose to use your time intelligently to achieve what you want? Effective planning is one of the ways to help you use your time best. You need to know what tasks you are spending your time on and whether they truly contribute to your long-term goals. One of the important principles that helps us better understand the value of time is the 80-20 principle. If you understand that 80% of the results in your work come from only 20% of the important tasks, you will find it easier to prioritize important work and eliminate activities that don't bring real value. This helps you increase productivity and focus on what makes a difference in your life. As Jim Rohn also said, spend time on what's important, not on what's urgent. The truth is that many of us spend too much time on insignificant things, while neglecting important tasks, meaningless meetings, time-consuming tasks that don't have a big impact, or actions just to make ourselves feel busy. These are the things that make us feel like we're working all day without achieving anything. To change this, you need to learn to say no to unimportant tasks and focus on what is truly necessary. Jim Rohn said, "We cannot change time, but we can change how we use it." Another thing we need to be clear about is health. Health is a precious asset, indispensable if you want to achieve effectiveness in your work. When you feel tired and exhausted because you don't know how to allocate your time properly, your work productivity will decrease significantly. Therefore, maintaining a reasonable work-rest schedule is very important. Remember, you cannot achieve effectiveness in your work without health. To increase productivity and work more efficiently, you need to know how to manage your time so you don't waste it on things that don't bring real value. Planning, prioritizing important tasks, and spending time on what is truly valuable in life are the keys to helping you use your time wisely, achieve your goals, and succeed in life. As Jim Rohn said, you cannot change the past, but you can change the future by using your time today intelligently. One of the important principles that Jim Rohn always emphasized in achieving work efficiency and increasing productivity is the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle indicates that 80% of the results in our work and life come from 20% of the important activities. This means that a small number of tasks you do will bring most of the results, while the majority of the remaining tasks contribute very little to your progress. Therefore, if you want to achieve significant results without wasting time on unimportant things, you need to know how to focus on what brings the greatest value. Jim Rohn shared that 80% of the results come from 20% of the work you do. So find the most important things and dedicate your time to them. To achieve high productivity and not get caught up in unnecessary tasks, you need to identify and prioritize important work. Focus on tasks that have the potential to bring significant results, instead of constantly doing small tasks that don't have much impact on your goals. When you know how to manage your time and energy on valuable tasks, you will no longer feel like you are working all day without seeing any results. Surely, you have been in a situation where you worked all day without feeling like you achieved your goals. This happens because we are often caught up in urgent but unimportant tasks. Remember, not everything that is busy brings good results. Always ask yourself, which task today will bring me the greatest results? When you identify the 20% of the most important tasks and dedicate time to them, you will realize that you don't need to do everything to achieve success. Jim Rohn said, "Success doesn't come from doing many things, but from doing the right, most important things." Applying the 80-20 principle in work and life not only helps you save time, but also helps you work more effectively. Create effective habits by always prioritizing valuable tasks and learning to say no to tasks that don't yield clear results. For example, if you are a business person, you might realize that only a few customers bring in most of your revenue. So why not focus on building relationships with these customers instead of spreading your time on other small customers who don't bring much value? Another important thing is effective time management, so you are not distracted by unnecessary things. Use the 80-20 principle to plan effectively each day. Clearly identify the most important tasks and dedicate time to them. For tasks that don't produce significant results, reduce them or delegate them to others. As Jim Rohn said, do valuable things. Don't do things just to feel busy. Finally, applying the 80-20 principle not only helps you increase productivity, but also helps you achieve balance in life. When you focus on what's important and use your time wisely, you will have more time for things that truly matter, such as family, hobbies, and health. Don't get caught up in tasks that don't bring value. Work smart, not hard. It is prioritizing important work and intelligent time management that will help you achieve sustainable success and happiness in life. In modern life, we often feel constantly busy, and being busy is often equated with being effective. Jim Rohn once said, "Busyness is not a badge of honor. It's just a sign of lack of focus and lack of priorities." Many of us spend too much time on unimportant tasks, things that make us feel like we're doing something, but in the end, the results go nowhere. Therefore, switching from being busy to being effective is extremely important if you want to achieve real success in your work and life. To do this, you need to learn how to manage your time intelligently and have a clear plan. Effective planning will help you recognize which are the most important tasks and need to be prioritized first. Rohn shared, "Success doesn't come from doing many things, but from doing the right, most important things." To avoid getting caught up in unnecessary tasks, you must know how to prioritize important work. This means you need to focus on tasks that can help you achieve your long-term goals instead of being drawn into small, easy tasks that don't bring any results. One of the important principles that helps you switch from being busy to being effective is the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. According to this principle, 80% of the results come from only 20% of the work you do. This means that the most important tasks, the ones that generate most of the results, account for only a very small percentage of the total tasks you perform. Therefore, you need to identify and focus on the 20% of tasks that bring the greatest results and reduce the time spent on tasks that are not truly valuable. As Rohn said, "You will never be able to do everything, so you must know how to do the most important things." When you realize this, you will find it easier to manage your time and not get caught up in unimportant tasks. You will know how to say no to tasks that don't bring value, thereby dedicating time to what really matters. To do this, you need to be clear in defining your goals. Always remember that when you truly focus on important tasks and time, you can also create an effective habit. Build for yourself a focused work habit on tasks that bring significant results. Don't let yourself be distracted by unnecessary things. You will realize that when you truly focus on tasks, you also work with higher productivity. When you work with a plan and prioritize, you will not feel tired or exhausted because you have completed the most important tasks. Finally, don't forget that switching from being busy to being effective is not something that can be achieved overnight. It requires you to know how to use your time intelligently to achieve great results. As Rohn said, "Don't work hard to be busy. Work hard to achieve worthy results." When you start applying these principles to your life, you will realize that you are not only less busy, but also achieve higher efficiency in your work and in your personal life. One of the keys to achieving work efficiency is knowing how to reduce unnecessary work and work smart. We often work very hard, but don't achieve the desired results because we are pouring too much time into tasks that don't bring value. Rohn once said, "Working a lot doesn't always mean working effectively." Working smart is not just working hard. To achieve success, you not only need to manage your time, but also need to know how to minimize unnecessary tasks that don't bring you closer to your goals. In fact, in life and work, not everything is important. Small tasks, easy tasks, that don't have a big impact on the overall result are the things that make us feel busy without making progress. Therefore, effective planning and prioritizing important work are extremely necessary. If you don't clearly identify what needs to be done first, you will get caught up in unimportant tasks that waste your time without creating any value. Do valuable things. Don't do things just to feel busy, Rohn shared. To reduce unnecessary work, you need to learn to say no to time-consuming tasks that don't have value. This may be difficult at first, but once you realize the importance of prioritizing important work, you will find that you have more time to focus on your long-term goals. Jim Rohn also emphasized, no success comes from doing everything. Success comes from doing the right, most important things. An indispensable part of working smart is time management. Create a clear work schedule for yourself, allocating reasonable time for tasks that bring high value. You need to clearly identify which tasks bring the most results and put them first. For tasks that don't bring significant results, find ways to minimize the time spent on them or delegate them to others. By doing this, you not only save time to do the right important things. Besides reducing unnecessary work, you also need to know how to work with high concentration. Creating effective habits is an important factor in helping you avoid distractions. Good habits help you maintain high productivity because when you know clearly what you need to do and when to do it, you will not feel tired or exhausted. Success is not about doing many things, but about doing the right important things, and it's about focusing on valuable things. Finally, don't forget that working smart is not just about cutting down on unnecessary tasks, but also about maintaining good health to be able to work most effectively. If your body is not healthy, you will not be able to maintain high work productivity. Always remember that health is the foundation for you to manage your time and work more effectively. Finally, reduce unnecessary work and start working smart. Focusing on valuable things, prioritizing important work, and maintaining a clear, planned work habit will help you achieve the desired results. As Jim Rohn said, time is the most valuable asset, and how you use your time determines your success. In the journey to achieve work efficiency and increase productivity, don't overlook or underestimate health. Jim Rohn once said, "Health is the greatest asset you have. Without health, you can't do anything." When your body is healthy, your mind is clear, and you have enough energy to face all the challenges in work and life. Conversely, if you don't pay attention to your health, no matter how well you manage your time or plan effectively, you will still find it difficult to achieve the desired results. This doesn't mean you have to spend all day exercising or dieting strictly, but you need to know how to maintain a healthy lifestyle to maintain work productivity in the long run. Good health is the foundation for you to work smart, focus on important tasks, and achieve the highest work efficiency. Jim Rohn emphasized, to succeed, you need good health. If your health is unstable, everything else is meaningless. To maintain good health, it's important to have a reasonable diet with enough nutrients and drink enough water. Besides that, getting enough sleep and resting properly are also extremely important. When you have a healthy body, you will feel full of energy to complete all tasks. Conversely, when your body is tired, sleep-deprived, and your health declines, you will not be able to work effectively no matter how hard you try. Jim Rohn also once said, "If you want a bright future, take care of your health today." In addition, regular exercise is also an indispensable factor in maintaining good health. Physical activities not only help improve physical fitness, but also make you more effective. When you exercise, you help your body relieve stress, which makes your mind more relaxed, thereby helping you focus on your work better and reducing errors due to fatigue. Moreover, mental health time management in Georgia. Jim Rohn's system for busy professionals, ages 30 to 45. Life in Georgia moves at its own pace, a blend of southern charm and modern ambition. For professionals between 30 and 45, you're likely juggling careers, families, and personal aspirations. The feeling of being constantly busy, yet somehow not truly effective, can be overwhelming. You might find yourself saying yes to too many things, attending countless meetings, and feeling like you're always putting out fires. This isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about reclaiming your time, that most precious and non-renewable resource. The wisdom of the late Jim Rohn, a renowned personal development philosopher, offers a powerful framework to shift from mere busyness to genuine effectiveness. His principles aren't abstract theories. They are practical, down-to-earth strategies that you can implement today to see tangible results. The trap of busy in the peach state. Think about your typical week here in Georgia. Maybe you're a tech professional in Atlanta, navigating demanding projects and team collaborations. Perhaps you're a small business owner in Savannah, constantly balancing customer needs, marketing, and operations. Or maybe you're a healthcare worker in Augusta, dedicated to patient care, while also managing administrative tasks and personal life. The common thread? Busyness. Emails flood your inbox the moment you wake up. Meetings fill your calendar back to back. Unexpected issues demand immediate attention. You might end the day feeling exhausted, but when you reflect on what you truly accomplished that moved you closer to your long-term goals, the answer might be disheartening. This is the busy trap, expending a lot of energy on activities that don't yield significant results. Jim Rohn astutely pointed out that activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Just because you're moving fast doesn't mean you're heading in the right direction. Jim Rohn's core principles for time mastery. Rohn's philosophy on time management boils down to a few key, interconnected ideas. 1. The 80-20 principle, Pareto principle. Focus on the vital few. Effective planning. Prioritizing the important over the urgent. Energy management. Fueling sustainable productivity. The value of your time. Recognizing its irreplaceability. Taking decisive action. Turning knowledge into results. Let's delve into each of these with specific examples relevant to your busy lives in Georgia. 1. The 80-20 principle. Identifying your high-impact activities. The 80-20 principle states that roughly 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. This isn't a rigid mathematical law, but a powerful observation. In the context of your time, it means that a small portion of your daily or weekly tasks are responsible for the majority of your progress towards your goals, both professionally and personally. How to apply it in Georgia. Professional life. Sales. If you're in sales, you might find that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your clients. Instead of spreading your efforts thinly across all leads, focus on nurturing and expanding relationships with your key accounts. For example, instead of attending every networking event in Atlanta, identify the 2 to 3 that consistently yield the best connections and focus your energy there. Management. As a manager, 80% of your team's output might be driven by 20% of the tasks you delegate or the strategic guidance you provide. Instead of getting bogged down in micromanaging every detail, identify the critical projects and empower your team members to take ownership. For instance, instead of spending hours reviewing every minor report, focus on the key performance indicators, KPIs, that truly impact the team's success. Small business ownership. If you run a bakery in Athens, you might find that 80% of your profits come from 20% of your product line, e.g., your signature peach cobbler and custom cakes. Focus your marketing efforts and production on these high-demand items rather than spreading resources across every pastry. Personal life. Relationships. 80% of your joy and support might come from 20% of your relationships, close family, and a few key friends. Prioritize spending quality time with these individuals instead of feeling obligated to attend every social gathering. For instance, instead of passively scrolling through social media, schedule a meaningful phone call with your parents or plan a weekend outing with your closest friends in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Health. 80% of your health benefits might come from 20% of your efforts. E.g., consistent exercise 3 times a week and mindful eating. Focus on these core habits rather than getting overwhelmed by trying every new fitness trend or restrictive diet. For example, commit to a 30-minute walk or jog in your neighborhood a few times a week and make conscious choices about your meals. Actionable step. Take 15 minutes at the end of your workday today to list the 5-7 most significant tasks you tackled. Then honestly assess which 1-2 of those tasks contributed the most to your overall goals. This simple exercise will start to train your mind to identify your 20% activities. 2. Effective planning. The power of prioritization. Jim Rohn emphasized the crucial distinction between the urgent and the important. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention, a ringing phone, a crisis at work, but they often don't contribute significantly to your long-term goals. Important tasks, on the other hand, are aligned with your objectives and values, but they often get pushed aside by the tyranny of the urgent. How to plan intelligently in Georgia. Daily planning. Before you start your day, take 5 to 10 minutes to identify your top 3 to 5 most important tasks. These are the activities that, if completed, will move you closest to your goals. Schedule specific time blocks for these tasks in your calendar and treat these appointments with yourself as non-negotiable. For example, if you're a writer in Macon with a book deadline, your important task might be writing 500 words. Schedule a dedicated hour for this before checking emails. Weekly review. At the end of each week, take 30 minutes to review your progress and plan for the upcoming week. Identify your key priorities for the week ahead, aligning them with your larger goals. Consider using a planner, a digital task management tool, or even a simple notebook. For instance, if your goal is to launch a new product for your Atlanta-based startup, your weekly priorities might include finalizing the marketing plan, coordinating with the development team, and reaching out to potential investors. Saying no strategically. One of the most powerful time management tools is the ability to say no to commitments that don't align with your priorities. This can be challenging, especially in a culture that often values being helpful. However, every yes to a less important task is a no to something more valuable. For example, if you're a busy lawyer in Savannah and you're asked to join another committee that doesn't directly advance your career goals or personal values, politely decline. Actionable step. Tonight, before you go to bed, identify the single most important task you need to accomplish tomorrow. Write it down and decide on a specific time you will work on it. Treat this time as sacred. Energy management. The foundation of sustainable productivity. You can't pour from an empty cup. Jim Rohn understood that time management isn't just about organizing your tasks. It's also about managing your physical and mental energy levels. Peak performance requires a well-nourished body, a rested mind, and a positive outlook. How to manage your energy in Georgia. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. A well-rested brain is more focused, creative, and resilient. If you're struggling with sleep, establish a consistent bedtime routine, create a relaxing sleep environment, and limit screen time before bed. Nourish your body. Fuel your body with nutritious foods. A balanced diet provides sustained energy throughout the day. Be mindful of your eating habits, especially during busy work days. Pack healthy snacks to avoid energy dips. Consider incorporating fresh, local produce available at Georgia's farmers markets. Regular exercise. Physical activity boosts energy levels, reduces stress, and improves focus. Find an activity you enjoy, whether it's hiking in North Georgia, cycling along the coast, or simply taking a brisk walk in your neighborhood. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. Mindful breaks. Short, regular breaks throughout the day can significantly improve your focus and prevent burnout. Step away from your work, stretch, take a few deep breaths, or engage in a brief, enjoyable activity. Even a 5-minute break every hour can make a difference. Manage stress. Chronic stress drains your energy and impairs your cognitive function. Develop healthy coping mechanisms for stress, such as mindfulness, meditation, spending time in nature — Georgia has plenty of beautiful spots — or engaging in hobbies. Actionable step. Reflect on your energy levels throughout the day today. Identify the times when you feel most and least energetic. Plan your most important tasks for your peak energy periods. Also, commit to one small energy-boosting activity tomorrow, like taking a 10-minute walk during your lunch break. 4. The value of your time. Recognizing its irreplaceability, Jim Rohn powerfully stated, "Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time." This fundamental truth should inform every decision you make about how you spend your minutes and hours. How to value your time in Georgia. Calculate your hourly rate. While not always directly applicable, thinking about the monetary value of your time can be a powerful motivator for using it wisely. Consider what your time is worth professionally and personally. When faced with a task, ask yourself if your time could be better spent on something with a higher return in terms of progress, income, or fulfillment. Delegate low-value tasks. Identify tasks that can be effectively delegated to others, either at work or at home. This frees up your time to focus on higher-value activities that only you can do. For example, if you're a business owner, consider hiring an administrative assistant to handle scheduling and correspondence. At home, perhaps you can involve family members in household chores, or consider using services for tasks like lawn care. Minimize time-wasting activities. Be honest with yourself about how you're spending your downtime. Are you mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours? Are you getting sucked into unproductive online discussions? While relaxation is important, be intentional about your leisure time and ensure it's truly rejuvenating rather than simply a time sink. Invest in efficiency. Look for ways to streamline your processes and improve your efficiency. This might involve learning new software shortcuts, organizing your workspace, or implementing better systems for managing information. The time you invest in becoming more efficient will pay dividends in the long run. Actionable step. Tomorrow, track your time in 30-minute increments for a few hours. Be honest about how you're spending it. At the end of the tracking period, review where your time is going and identify any significant time-wasting activities you can reduce. 5. Taking decisive action. Turning knowledge into results. Jim Rohn's wisdom, like any valuable information, is only powerful when acted upon. Knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. The gap between knowledge and action is where most people get stuck. How to take action and get results in Georgia. Start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire time management system overnight. Choose 1 or 2 key principles from Jim Rohn's system that resonate with you and start implementing them gradually. Small, consistent actions are more sustainable than grand, unsustainable efforts. Set realistic goals. Break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. This makes the overall objective less daunting and provides a sense of progress as you complete each step. Create accountability. Share your goals with a trusted friend, family member, or colleague. Having someone to check in with can provide motivation and support. You might even consider joining a mastermind group with other professionals in Georgia who are focused on personal and professional growth. Embrace imperfection. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan to take action. Progress often involves trial and error. Learn from your mistakes and adjust your approach as needed. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. This reinforces positive habits and keeps you motivated. Actionable step. Based on everything you've read, identify the one specific action you will take today related to improving your time management. It could be planning your top 3 tasks for tomorrow, identifying your most valuable client, or committing to a 15-minute walk. Write it down and commit to doing it. Jim Rohn's enduring wisdom for your success in Georgia. Jim Rohn's teachings on time management are not just about productivity hacks. They are about living a more intentional and fulfilling life. By focusing on what truly matters, planning strategically, managing your energy wisely, valuing your time, and taking consistent action, you can break free from the cycle of meaningless busyness and achieve meaningful results in your career, your relationships, and your personal growth right here in Georgia. Remember his powerful words. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. Mastering your time is a crucial skill that will empower you to become better, develop more skills, and gain more wisdom as you navigate the demands and opportunities of your busy life in the Peach State. Start today. Even a small step in the right direction is progress. Embrace Jim Rohn's timeless principles. Tailor them to your unique circumstances in Georgia, and watch as you transform from being merely busy to truly effective, achieving your goals and living a life of purpose and impact. Start applying these steps today because you are the one who decides your future. Thank you for watching the video. Wish you always be strong and successful on the path you choose. Please comment yes or I am successful. The action of giving us a like button to spread the video. You want to own the entire series of good and attractive videos. Love the full systematic version. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to not miss the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Let's study together. Even if there is a word or an idea that helps you enlighten, live a useful life, it will make joy multiply. Sending you love, peace, success, and happiness.